at 6 p.m. You draw the line, your district, your voice, your future. For more information or to locate a public hearing near you, visit www.michigan.gov/micrc or call 833-UDRAW. That's 833-968-3729.
You're listening to WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit, your ethnic superstation, 690 days, 680 nights.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Oury Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Oury's cinnamon pull-apart made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Oury Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And I'm glad you called in. I hope you call in. Are you listening in? I am really concerned, and I hope before the next 15 minutes goes by that you get concerned as well. Although the show is titled Bright Side of Aging, there is something looming that's not very bright. And unless you have not been listening to the news, which is not the most pleasant thing to do these days, or read the newspaper, we are on the brink of really a very serious problem in the sense of closed head injury care. I'm a pharmacist, as many of you may know, so I've seen firsthand, and still do now, how devastating closed head injury can be. In fact, I get frustrated when I see these young bucks, as for lack of a better word, on a motorcycle without a helmet on. sad part is that we as taxpayers end up having to take care of these situations, and until recently we had one of the best systems of ensuring closed head injury people in the whole United States. And unfortunately, whoever was behind it, and I don't have specific insurance companies' names in mind, but the insurance lobby was so effective that they are doomed. They actually are creating a terrible, terrible situation, not for the families or the patients, but also for us individually in terms of compassion and taking care of these people. And I'm really excited about having a long-time health care associate. In fact, John Prosser is the owner of Health Partners Home Care. So you talk about frontline. He has been at the front line, and he is involved with the Brain Injury Provider Council. And in fact, as we speak, he's in Lansing trying to alert our governor that, hey, we're doomed for a real devastating situation. So I'm hoping that before our interview is over, that we motivate you to contact your government representatives in Lansing and send in postcards if possible right to our governor, because somewhere along the line communication is not quite there. And John from his busy schedule offered to call in and give us a little background. Hello, John.
Hey, Ike, thanks so much for having me on. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful sunshine today.
Well, it's wonderful to be able to enjoy it and actually enjoy our wonderful state. You're part of the Brain Injury Provider Council. So tell us, what is that council consist of?
Well, in Michigan, we've had our unique auto no-fault model, as you're aware, Ike, and hopefully many of your listeners are aware. We've had this model that provides lifetime care for people that suffer brain and spinal cord injuries from automobile accidents. And this law has actually been in effect since 1972, so over 45 years, pardon me. And sadly, as you mentioned in your preface, the insurance company lobby was able to persuade legislators to vote for a bill, and sadly, it's a 130-page bill that came up at 1 a.m. in May of 2019. And they voted on this bill and they passed it, not understanding all of its implications. And the net result was, what they did was they made a retro application. They actually said all of the people that are getting benefits from the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association, which is a fund that has billions of dollars in it, that is funded by the drivers for the post-acute care. All that money is there, but they're going to retroactively break the contract that the person bought the policy got, which said they would get lifetime care, and they're taking away their care. So, for instance, my company, Health Partners Home Care, we specialize in serving brain and spinal cord injured people that suffer catastrophic auto accidents. And we take care of them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in their home. And the reason I'm here today, and I have been many, many times, is because we want them to pass these specific bills. In the Senate, it's Senate Bill 314. That's Senate Bill 314. And in the House, it's House Bill 4486. That's 4486. And we would love it if your listeners would contact the governor's office and tell her we need her to lead on these bills, because here's the reality. If we don't get this technical fee schedule fixed, which is what those bills are, I'm going to have to lay off 580 people in my company, and the 96 people that we take care of around the state 24 hours a day, 7 days a week are going to go without care. They're going to not have somebody come into their home, and it's dirty, rotten scoundrel behavior. but that's what we're up against. So today, I sit here on the fourth floor of the Capitol building in beautiful Lansing, and there's about 73 legislators that are going to join us at 1 o'clock for a press conference on the steps of the Capitol. And I just want your listeners to understand, don't underestimate how important your call is. Your call is the most important call. It is the difference, because imagine you don't call, you have zero impact. But if you call the governor and say you need to support these auto no-fault bills, more communication that the governor gets, the better it is, and the more likely we're going to be able to pass these bills out. Now, as you mentioned many times, people can also contact their state senator, they can contact their state representative, and they can insist that not only should the legislators support the bill, but that you should vote on it in committee. These bills sit in committee today, but they're not scheduled to be voted upon. And time is of the essence. So I'm very grateful that you give us this audience, Ike. I hope that your listening audience understands this same draconian cut is going to apply to you going forward. Of the 7 million drivers in Michigan, if you suffer a brain or a spinal cord injury after the change in this law, if we don't get these rate schedules fixed, you're not going to have anybody to come to your house. You're not going to have a therapy to go to, because the companies have to close, because they're literally, what they did was say, we're only going to pay 45%. We're only going to pay 55% of what we paid you in 2019. So they're imposing a 45% reduction on the pay scale to the companies that provide the care to the people that are injured. And all of the money that's in the fund is there for the people, funded by the drivers for the drivers. So I hope I was clear enough, Ike. I'm really grateful.
Right. Well, I appreciate it's clear to me, because you and I have talked about this before, and it's the reason that I'm having you on. So as far as clarification is concerned, is the...
if people want to learn more, may I interrupt you, please?
Sure.
Ike, I apologize, but I just remembered something really important. If people want to drill down, there's a wonderful group of about 4,000 people on Facebook, and the name of the group is We Can't Wait. We Can't Wait. So some people aren't on Facebook, but typically everybody knows somebody that's on Facebook. And if you really want to drill down on the details of this, people can get a great deal of information there.
Speaking of that, and this is what point I was going to make, is that, I personally know friends of mine that have been in that particular situation, and I would venture to say that people that really don't realize the implications, if they would call their House representative or state representative, and in fact, I would stress even more, I know it may be old-fashioned, just sending a postcard, and many times is even more effective than a phone call. Do both if you can. But
you're right, because they measure things like that. People that take the time to write are serious about what they're writing about.
Absolutely, and I would encourage anybody that's listening to this program, if they don't know someone personally, I am sure one of their neighbors does. So the most effective...
That's right. This could happen to any of us and anybody that we love. It's a very, very important topic.
Right. And the sad part is the entire fortunes of people can be wiped out in a year, or if that, because...
That's right.
The bills...
That's right.
Let me ask you, so I have it clear in my mind. You say that the money is there already, that's sitting there in one of these?
You can go to the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association. It's all one word, online.com. So it's Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association.com. And you can read the financials right there. There's about $24 billion in cash, stocks, and bonds. And there's about another $8 billion in assets, according to the audited financials.
And the sad part is that these insurance companies have vested interest in not having access to it, because it means they pay out less. Do I understand it correctly?
You're absolutely correct. It's funded by the drivers so that if somebody has a terrible injury, and the needs that they present exceed the coverage provided by the auto insurer, which in recent years has been $500,000, $550,000, and now it's $600,000. So as soon as they spend their entire obligation, every dollar of cost associated with the person that's injured's care is reimbursed to the insurance company.
I hate to make light of it, but I have a small mind, so I try to keep things simple. Insurance companies are insuring themselves that they give out as little as they have to obligate, or at least to satisfy the law to keep them licensed. So they have a vested interest.
That's right.
And that's a horrible incentive for people that are, and I'm not trying to badmouth insurance companies. There are great ones and mediocre ones, but they certainly seem to have the nice, fanciest buildings and the biggest location. And so they want to hang on to that. Meanwhile, lives are devastated. Now, you talked about time and sensitivity. What time do we still have?
Well, right now, the tentative break for summer recess for the legislators is the 24th. Now, that could be amended. They could put in another week of activities, legislative days, but we're not certain about that. But as of today, Wednesday, there's 8 legislative days left in this current session. So it's a very narrow window. And of all the companies that are members of the Brain Injury Association Provider Council, the NBIPC commissioned a survey, and 9 out of 10 companies said that without the change in the technical fee schedule fix, these bills that I mentioned, 9 out of 10 companies will have to close and lay off all of we're talking about tens of thousands of employees, and there's 18,000 people that are currently receiving care in some manner, and it's being paid for by the Catastrophic Claims Association. So these are staggering numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I mentioned, the insurance companies were able to persuade the legislators to vote for it, and it's quite the mystery to everybody because the outcome is going to be a humanitarian crisis if we don't get these bills passed.
Well, to keep it simple, all people listening have to do is, if they don't have access to the governor's phone number or their representatives in Lansing, call the library, and they'll, depending on your zip code, they'll tell you exactly who your representative is. And
that's great advice, indeed.
And all they have to do, once they get them, I think postage on the postcards around 38 cents or something. So it's not a fortune of money, but you could save people's entire lives by taking that extra effort. Call the library, get your respective representative, and if you call them and send them a postcard, or actually get the address in Lansing for the governor and send a postcard, because in all due respect, email is okay, but they get, so many emails, they get
inundated, they get lost.
Right.
They get lost.
Right.
Listen, I really am grateful, but I got to go. I see a legislator that I've been trying to talk to.
I appreciate the time you gave me, and we'll stay in touch. So by all means, call the library, get your representative. Thanks, John. We'll talk soon. Have a good one. Good luck.
Thanks so much, Ike. Bye-bye.
Good luck. Bye. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ari Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ari Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. And it's sweet to be able to talk about our sponsors. And our sponsors, as those of you that listen regularly, are Ari Bakery, of course, you just heard. We have Joyview Market. If you like Polish food, and I love the kielbasa, chicken kielbasa, and they got Tishka. Joyview Market is located right on Joy Road, 23822, which is actually just east of Telegraph and Joy. Then, of course, for people who are, as we call them, VIPs, visually impaired, Able Zone on Rochester Road. They've got phenomenal products to really lighten up people's lives for those who have difficulty in seeing. And Cruz Hearing, of course, I just got the pair yesterday. And Felix Cruz and his son John actually have 3 locations. One is in Farmington Hills, one is out in Waterford, another one is in Taylor. And because they're sponsors, I really would like your support, because that's what keeps us on the air. And we supplied them with some Bob Allison cookbooks. So if you go there and you think of it, just tell them I'd like one of the free books that Ike talks about. And if you'll call our toll-free number, which is 1-888-489-8980, that's 1-888-489-8980. I'll be glad to set up a time for you that you can go there. I pride myself on having as close a personal connection as is possible. And I only work with people that are reliable and dependable. And when you analyze it, we got your sweet tooth taken care of, and of course, and daily needs of getting around. The Friends Hardware out in Royal Oak has got little gadgets and devices. I got almost all of them. One I still think literally can get you turned on in a positive way. Picture the switch light that you have when you turn on and off the light. They've got it magnetized, so you can put it on any wall, especially in the basement if you got any dark areas. You just turn it on and it's got like a fluorescent type lighting, so it can really light up your life. And speaking of lighting up your life, since the show is titled Bright Side of Aging, I like to remind you of things of our daily situation, especially in this time where we've been locked in, and I see people with smiling faces, and the only reason is they don't have a mask on, which quite frankly I know is debatable. But if you're outside and you're really concerned about possibly infecting someone or getting infected. The way is you can stay apart and without a mask, and no one's going to arrest you. And because of our ingenuity, I'll have more details for you. A new product is already available, which is non-prescription. It's called Covix, which is a nasal spray that actually prevents you from passing on the virus, and also acts like a shield, because as you may be aware, the inside of your nose is really one of the most sensitive portions of your being able to exist. You breathe, right? Well, I'm really excited about having Covix on the market. It's been tested. Prominent doctors have endorsed it. You're going to be hearing more about it. So the good news is there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not another train coming. And right now, one of the things you could do, especially if people have been locked in, why not call people from your phone book that you haven't been in touch with? And with my permission, why don't you go out and have a cup of coffee together? If you want to sit apart, there's all kinds of locations. In fact, I'm proud to be part of the Friends group at the Caustic Senior Center on 11 Mile and Middlebuilt. We meet the first Wednesday of each month from 1 to 2. We have fun time sharing thoughts and what have you. Why not make a scrapbook of some of the pictures that you have in your file? There is something that's so valuable that the internet and the texting and all that technology just does not satisfy. I obviously love radio because I wouldn't be doing this for almost 50, that's half a century, if I didn't enjoy the opportunity to get my message out to, I would say, a pretty sizable audience. And I've run into people that at grocery stores and all, and I like to talk to the clerks and all, and someone invariably will come up and, hey, your voice sounds familiar. It is the most gratifying thing to be connected by way of a voice. It's really something that a Zoom conference call is not going to satisfy. So call somebody you haven't talked to in a while. And why not develop a phone type squad, so to speak, and decide that you'd call each other, let's say, at a particular time of the day, once or twice a week, or maybe even daily if you feel close enough. And you can always find something that you have in common. And ideally as well, now the senior centers are opening up, so by all means take advantage of that as well. I have other thoughts, but I don't have time to talk about them today. In fact, I only have enough time for my parting thought, which is yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. So please enjoy your gift because it's called the present. Please enjoy your present. Talk to you soon. Right now we're going to take a break until our next visit. In about 2 minutes, we're going to be on the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan segment. Don't go away. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. And they're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware. Yes, and when you do, just mention that Ike suggested you come by. John is the type of guy that's, and his brother Richard, that are inherited from their father, have the habit that if you come in, they'll actually will personally walk you over to the right spot. It beats the heck out of those big box stores. I'm not saying they were obviously doing okay, but being able to walk in and be greeted as a neighbor and a friend is just such a wonderful experience. And because they're sponsors, I've set aside some of Bob Allison's cookbooks that we can make available in their stores, or any of our sponsors. If they don't have it, we'll mail it to you, but we have to cover the mailing cost, which is around $5, but nothing beats being able to pick up the book and sharing a lot of their wonderful recipes. I was tempted to start my next interview with Quack Quack. Remember Aflac? And I'm really excited about having Linda Jordan, actually, who is a rep for Aflac, on the air with me, and she has been to our Entrepreneur Network meetings and tries to make as many of them as possible. So by all means, it's a great way for you to connect with entrepreneurs. And she indeed is an entrepreneur. Linda Gordon is one of these people that goes that extra mile. And I really appreciate that she's able to share with us what this whole aspect of supplemental insurances, and she is a great spokesman for Aflac. And I hope to see you soon, Linda, and in person. We've been doing the Zoom meetings. Our next meeting is going to be on June 22nd. We try to meet every other Tuesday from 12 to 1, Zooming. So, hello, Linda. How are you?
I'm doing great, Ike. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. As you know, on our Entrepreneur Network meetings, we try to get to know each other as quickly as possible. So we ask each person to give their 60-second elevator pitch. So Linda, pretend that we're at the meeting and you are introducing yourself. And your 60-second elevator pitch is?
It is, well, my name is Linda Gordon, and the name of my insurance agency is L. Gordon Insurance. I represent a number of different companies, and well, obviously, you've heard of one of them. I actually started in the insurance business in 1999, and was kind of waylaid, went to another industry altogether, worked in the airlines for 20 years, came back to insurance last year, and it has been a awesome ride. Supplemental insurance is very much needed, especially today, because of the number of companies who can no longer afford to just cover their employees altogether. Mm-hmm. So I just am so excited. Thank you so much for inviting me. Mm-hmm. And let's just talk a little bit about supplemental insurance.
Yes. So tell me, let's say, both ways. Number one is that someone out there wants to partake in, is it Aflac that you represent?
Well, yes, that is one of them.
One of them. So, but you have your own insurance company, so you actually have other companies you're working with, which, by the way, is something that is very important for people to realize, that if you're dealing with an independent insurance agent like Linda Gordon, she has a vested interest to look out for you and not just, represent the one company. So who would you say is your ideal client?
My ideal client, well, for supplemental insurance, we do target individuals and companies. My ideal client would be from 30 years old to 50 years old. And they would realize that it is very important for them to have a backup plan. Basically our major medicals are, they have high deductibles. So a lot of the, quite a few of the, clients that come to me, they have like a $500 or a $1,000 deductible on their major medical. So if they ever go into the hospital, then they're wiping out their bank account. Mm. Well, a lot of supplemental insurance companies will cover that deductible. Mm-hmm. And the premiums are very reasonable.
So,
in addition to life insurance, I just signed with a company that has a term life policy that will actually, at the end of the term, they will refund your premium if you didn't die during that term.
So that's an added incentive not to die. So,
Yes.
now, if someone wants to get a hold of you, of course, they can call our toll-free number, 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980. But if you're interested in talking to Linda directly, do you want to give out your phone number, Linda?
Sure. It is 734-373-8551.
It's
Again, that is 734-373-8551.
So tell me, if there's someone out there that's already insured, you are able to assist those people. It's not necessarily your audience is not necessarily people that are not insured at all. Do I understand the program correctly?
Well, most of our clients already have like their Blue Cross Blue Shield or Select Care or HAP. So when I'm going to share a brief story with you.
Mm-hmm.
About 5 years ago, I had blood clots in my lungs, and I have Aflac as an agent. I purchased policies. I was in intensive care for 4 days. My husband was by my side, so neither one of us were working. That's where Aflac helped. I had a hospital policy, so he was able to be by my side.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's a pretty good incentive to promote it. Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I see from the information you sent me that you're involved with whole term as well as universal life. Is there a difference between the two? Whole is...
Yes. Whole life, basically, you just pay a premium for your entire life. And depending upon your age, it can range. My daughter is 28 years old and she pays less than $20 a month. And that's for a $50,000 policy. She started young. Universal actually does some investing of your premiums. So you're going to pay a little bit more, but if you ever decide that you want to take out a loan, then you have that much more money that you could take out a loan against your policy.
So then, as far as the age bracket, getting back to what your comment was before, you just signed up with an insurance company that you actually can get your premiums back. Yes. And how does that work? And money and actual value?
It is a very good value. You need to be under 50 years old. Basically, you take out a term policy. For instance, you might say, okay, I want a term policy to cover me while I have a mortgage on my house. So 20 or 30 years, that term policy, you pay on that term policy for 20 or 30 years. And if during that term you do not pass, then you can request a refund of all of your premium, and it will be given to you in one lump sum.
So,
then yes, you don't have a policy anymore, but now you just have the money sitting in a bank waiting for the time when you do die.
Now, what's the age bracket that you are able to take advantage of that particular approach?
I would say 30, 40 years, but you have to be under 50.
You have to what? I'm sorry.
You must be under the age of 50.
Yeah, under 50. Okay, and how much of a policy can you get? How large?
Term? That particular company does not have a limit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do $1 million policy, then you can do it.
And the premiums, let's say you qualify medically, how much are we talking about?
Yes. It's just like every other life insurance. It depends on your health. It depends on your age. Each age has a different amount. You could go anywhere from $150,000 to $1 million, and if you do 125, then it's going to be a certain amount. So I would ask your audience if they could give me a call, or I can give my email, and we can set up a time to fill out an application, because it just varies. I couldn't even give you an approximate.
But then you also, I assume, welcome someone is sort of wondering, hey, am I in the right insurance program? So do you welcome a second opinion from you, Linda?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's a good offer. So I always am a firm believer in getting a second opinion. If you can do it with
Absolutely.
the doctors, do it with insurance, and by all means, feel free to call our toll-free number 1-888-489-8980, and you can get some really great information on insurance. And if you want to talk to Linda directly, her phone number is 734-373-8551. Hopefully, Linda, you'll be getting some calls, and hopefully you can help some people. And I really appreciate the time and look forward to hearing from you on the 22nd of June. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back, and I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. All right. Have a good one. We'll be right back. Do you like snacks? Well, why don't you try the Ike Bakery folks that have now created 3 new flavors of gluten-free granolas: maple vanilla, blueberry, and toffee chocolate, all sold in 16-ounce bags for just $4.99. All new is Ori's cinnamon pull-apart, made with Danish dough and rich cinnamon filling. It's great with coffee or milk and hard to stop eating. You will find all these items at the Ike Bakery Market on Farmington Road between I-96 and Plymouth Road in Livonia. Try it out. As Jackie Gleason used to say, how sweet it is. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Here they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruise Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And we're back, and hopefully you are as well. And I just want to remind you, if you're available with Zoom calls, I not only have my meetings on Zoom every other Tuesday. Our next one's going to be June 22nd. And if you want to X off alternate Tuesdays for the rest of the year, and hopefully for many more years, been doing our meetings now for over half a century or very close to it. We've made contacts with over 20,000 entrepreneurs because we've been around that long. And that is one of the keys in our organization, is that we're not just there for the first time, just starting out and not quite sure what to do. Although I've had quite a few students from Michigan State University and U of M come by and seeing, what is their networking group all about? Well, our networking group, I pride myself, since we've been doing it for so long, has got a lot of special little quirks and actually benefits. Number one benefit, of course, is if you join up with us, come to our meetings, you'll have an opportunity to get on the radio show with me to promote what you do. Also, you get a discount of actually substantially saving you money on your printing costs. We have one of our members, X-Trade, that's into bartering, so you don't have to spend cash, but instead use barter dollars for printing and other services. You also have the opportunity to be a speaker at our group. In fact, if you're a speaker type and looking for an opportunity, depending on your topic, feel free to call me at any time, 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980. We have coaches, life coaches, business coaches, financial coaches. We can make you almost famous. And I pride myself on having the meetings upbeat, lighthearted, and also give out information that, as I like to say, you walk out smarter than you walked in. And I always try to bring in interesting speakers who can identify to-do type things that actually you can put into action almost right after the meeting. I'm a firm believer that if you don't have self-improvement type of strategies, you are doomed for disaster. Because, as I like to say, an education can help give you a living. Self-improvement can actually help you make a fortune. So it's not a one-night stand type deal. It's an ongoing process. There are so many great motivated speakers out there, and so many great books have been written on them. And the sad part is, many times there's a lot of books that just have fluff stuff. I try not to go in that direction. There's a Robert Michael Fried that wrote a great book titled Igniting Your True Purpose and Passion, a business-like guide to fulfill your professional goals and personal dreams. And in it, among other things, he has 7 jump starts to focus on your strengths. Number 1, make a list. Check it twice, like Santa Claus. Define your strengths. Remember, strengths require doing things well repeatedly with a sense of passion and joy. You will never be successful in any venture unless you have a passion. They say if you are able to fill that passion and actually make money at the same time, that is the most beneficial gift you'll ever have. I have a nephew who loves tennis, and because he's a talented communicator, he got himself a job as started off just to be a tennis pro. Because of his personality and way of communicating, he is now in charge of hiring all the tennis pros at this prestigious resort in California. And he gets paid for it. Not a bad way, since he loves the game. And as I like to joke about it, because I do still play tennis, the tennis is not a matter of life and death. It's much more important than that. Anyway, and the jump start focus is, number 2, take a personal stock of yourself. Look inside yourself to make sure your strengths are aligned with your work and true purpose in life. Number 3, accent the positive and eliminate the negative, Go to your strengths rather than patchwork quoting your weaknesses. You only limit your potential obsessing over things you don't do so well. And search for the zone. There's a time in business that you have to start learning to identify what you should say yes to and what you should say no. You have to make a list of which areas that you'll go into. If you're looking to make serious money, how much is this going to actually produce for me in terms of profit? The only reason you should go into a business is obviously you have to have the passion and talent for it, but you have to make a profit. If you don't make a profit, it may be a good exercise, but you can do that in your extracurricular life, but not to make a business out of it. And use it or lose it. Make sure you fully utilize your talents and skills. Don't be afraid to measure yourself against others with similar strengths. I can't tell you how many times I've come up with an idea and I'll tell someone, the negative thinker will say, oh, that's already been tried. So what? If you can make it better, by golly, go for it. I have other thoughts and tips that we can share on our next visit, but right now I want to wrap up our program with one of my favorite quotes, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
Hello, Michigan. For the first time in history, you can impact on how district maps will be drawn in Michigan. Come learn and address the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission about its role in drawing maps for Michigan's congressional, Senate, and House districts at public hearings held at the Village Dome at Fellowship Chapel in Detroit on Tuesday, June 15th, 6 p.m., or at TCF Center on Thursday, June 17th at 6 p.m. You draw the line, your district, your voice, your future. For more information or to locate a public hearing near you, visit www.michigan.gov/micrc or call 833-UDRAW. That's 833-968-3729.